Today my topic is Make an Exchange. Actually, that's the name of my final project in London. And last year I just graduated from the Goldsmiths College in London. And so when Ian asked me what topic can I share with friends, I was thinking, okay, probably I can show my project in London to you all. And you can see that this is the Christmas tree. And because my department is design department, so actually there's no real tree there because we're thinking we should design a collective tree. So actually, I just try to put my paper inside this machine. So, and then you can see that it's the Christmas tree for all. So I think that's quite creative artwork in school. Yeah. So this is my program's name, it's the design environment. And the location is quite, it's not good. So, in the south of London. So you can see quite famous things like Tower Bridge there, London Eye. Actually, the area is not quite safe, so normally I will live there before night. And okay, so people were thinking that our program is much about the architecture or landscape, but actually not. My program is talking about more critical thinking and the sociology and the justice. So I think in Goldsmiths, the Goldsmiths is really I think when people are thinking about the Goldsmiths, people are thinking, okay, the art, design, and communication is really famous because in London, an artist named David Hirst is a really famous designer and artist. So the people were thinking the students from there are creative and critical. So when I apply this program, I was thinking that that's a good process for me because I really want to learn something new from this program. So that's the reason why I will going there. So actually you can see very clearly, this is the project from my friend. The project is about, she tried to create a scenario in the future that people can rise a pet, like a pet. It's just like a spider and you can put it on your body every day. And actually it's a sensors of environment, especially for air pollution. So once the air pollution, air condition get worse, the animals will become different color. So it's kind of warming. So my friend was thinking that if in future people, if a designer can create this kind of indicator to the normal people, and maybe we just can understand that, okay, now that our air condition is not good, so we should do more for our environment. So it's one project from my friend. And this is another project from my friend as well. And she's in India, and she tried to recycle everything in UK. So her project is to design a scheme to encourage people to do the recycle, especially the e-waste, because she realized that the e-waste in India is really serious, and government can't do anything in India. But she think in UK things kind of good. She think in UK probably can run this scheme well. Better than India. So she tried to design a scheme and as her final project. So in these programs, I learned a lot from the design research, because I remember when I first time to do my research, I designed a questionnaire to local people, and when I show the result to my tutor just didn't give me very good response. She said, "You come to design department, you did nothing about design." So I just really sad. And she told me that you need to do something that people want to participate in your work. They feel bound and they really want to give you what they think. So this is the design toolkit I give to the local people because my final project is about local community. And so I designed a package and which includes a small camera and a map so you can draw something on it. So I just deliver it to the local people, and after 2 weeks I collect them all back. And so I display them on my exhibition and on market as well. I will show you later. And so this is my first project I run in London, because when I moved to London, I started to cook myself. I started looking into the food program in London. And my tutor told me that a lot of the artists and designers go into the community and work with the local people. They say the garden is a good start for me. So they introduced me to an RB Gardens, which is not far from the Olympic Park. This area was very bad, but the government wants to regenerate it. So the local people applied some money to rebuild it. So you can see that everything designed by the designer and artists, and you can see something come from the designer like this one, because they want to share the local people some food from this garden. So even every day they will lock this door. They will have some food here, because the area is not really good area. Some people are poor, too poor to buy good stuff to eat. So I did some interview with the chairman of this garden, and they say they know that local food is really difficult to support the people every day consuming. But he thought that local food is a kind of concept to encourage people to eat food locally, not from supermarket. And apart from that, I met many people from different countries who come to this garden for volunteers as because I went there every week in the first 3 months when I was arriving in London. So you can see different you can see the different countries' food in this garden, like spring onions and some special tomato I never seen before. So the chairman told me that he thinks the garden just a meeting point for the local people. So at that time I was thinking, okay, that the community project, I think the local food is not only, I think the local food issue is more than local food. It's much about the community issue. And I thought so many designers came to this community and devote themselves to this garden. So like this chef and these pictures all come from the local library documentary, and they found the local history. They get some inspiration from the local history. So they want to create something new and connect it to his local history. So I learned a lot from this project. So I'm so happy I decided to go to this garden and to be volunteers in my life in London. So I met most of the people there, and they were really nice experience. And then I had to do my final project. So I'm still interested in local issues. So every day I just walk around my neighborhood and looking for something interesting. And I found this market. It's a Bermondsey antique market, and the market runs every Friday. But I found that the market looked very old, but the building around this area were quite new. It's kind of very strange. So I started to do my preliminary research. I designed very simple paper and delivered to some people working in that neighborhood. And I want to collect some mental map from the local people. But this one quite made me surprised, because I was really surprised by her map, because from her eyes the square looked quite different, because this map just show maybe 30 years old landscape, which words I can't recognize it. So I start to go there every Friday and talk with that the old lady, and the old lady told me that the market was very big. I think she told me that the market is one of the 4 biggest antique market in London, but now it just shrink to very small scale. So she really want the people come back, and I was thinking how to help her. And I asked the local people about the story about. I asked local people, do they know this story of antique market? And they say no. So I just design a project. I just set up a table with some design device. I set up a map. I designed something to ask them what bring them to this market. And some local people just were curious of what I'm doing, so they came over and ask me something and share their story. Because I designed some storyboard here, so when they saw some historical photo, they will feel very interesting, and they start to talk with me. So I just put their word here, and so some people say they came to this market to buy some watch, some jewelry, but I found some people come here not for physical word. They come here for memory, and come here for history sense, because they all live in this area, but this area has been regenerated by the government. So the local people were forced to live this area. So new people come to this area, and so the only one chance they come back to find their old friends is every Friday morning. So for them, the market is not just market; it's the kind of the meeting point for them. So I was thinking how to make these markets more meaningful. So as what I said, I just set up a table for people to tell the story by themselves. And I also designed a small book, which is a local heritage toolkit. So people can come to my table to pick up this small book. I think this is like a guidebook for the local heritage. And before that, they have to share their story. So they have to write something down here and go back to me. And then I will give them this booklet. So in this booklet, they can read something about the local area, like these 2 photos. This photo I from the local library, and that is very huge market here, and the garden. But now you can see the area changed a lot. The buildings, there's a hotel, and very high-end apartment here. So the market just the scale is really small. So I just want to let the visitors know that the things has changed, and it was a really nice antique market. But now it's still really nice because when I do my project there, I met many local antique traders came here to buy stuff and back to their store to sell them. They say the traders here are really professional, and most of them are experts at special field. So many people like to come here and to get good quality stuff. And I also put their work on the map. It's not clear, but you can see this map indicates the new landscape, and this map indicates the old landscape. So I was thinking that new people didn't know the story before, so probably they can see this map. And the old people, I mean like that, the old traders or the old people maybe didn't know what the new people doing in that area, so they can see the new map. So I just want to try to make the connection to the two group of people. So this is also 2 page in my booklets. And may you just turn off the light real quick? This is a map. This is the site of the antique market, and this is the London Bridge station. But actually, there's so many local heritage around this area, like leather market. The area was very famous leather market factory in London, and their product just go everywhere in London, even in Europe. So I think this area is a really good area to recognize. But nowadays, the new generations just like go to drink or to have nice foods in specific restaurant here. But I'm thinking there are so many good local heritage around this area. So I would like them to pick up the booklet I designed here, and they can go around this area to enjoy their time in London. And I also made a very small timeline for them to recognize. Actually, this area is really old and with very rich history in Bermondsey area. So okay, so that is my this is what I designed, and I want people to show what bring them to this market. So if they just want to buy a watch, and they can put a button of the plastic into this one. So many people feel to show their idea is interesting, and they really want to do it. So I think that's what I learned when I was at London, and until now I still feel very excited what I learned that, and thanks for your listening, and that's today's my talk.
Question.
Okay.
Why you look so scary? I'm also curious about the history of the city, and I think I'm taking pictures of corners of Taipei city. And my question is, are you going to do this kind of things in a city where you live, where you grow up?
That's really, I answer the first question, because I think I'm really I'm nervous to talk in English to the people, if you know that. So I feel really scared. And the second question is, I was thinking that is I had a good experience in London, and I was thinking one day I can do it in Taiwan or anywhere. So, but before that, I should to make it more organized, and then I think I can do it in Taiwan, but I still looking for chance to do it. So, yeah.
Can you explain a little bit about this? I didn't get
This
it.
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you do and what's the...
You mean the project of this one?
This one.
Okay. Because the market is really weak,
Yeah.
so I want to find some chance to boost the
Yeah.
economic. So I was thinking that if I can find what the people like most, maybe I can bring the people back.
Right.
Yeah. So I was thinking, okay, I would want to know what they want to be here.
Okay.
Maybe they want to buy picture, they want to buy vintage jewelry or something. But the answer just quite average. Everything is average. So I can't find which one is what they want most. So
Probably you can divide it by the generation, the watches in 1980s or...
and you are right, because after that I'm a little bit frustrated. So I talked with the chairman, who is the old lady, and she told me that actually people came here just especially for Victoria times goods like silver or watch, because for the British people they really like the Victoria age, especially that age. So everything from that age is how to say, is very popular. Yeah, but I think in each project I can feel that the new generation, the gap between the new generation and old generation is very huge. They don't want to communicate. So I think that's the big problem. And I met an architect there, and I discussed my project with him, and he gave me a very good idea about how to make it, the two people to communicate. He said that you should rearrange the table, because the table is really it's just in a specific area, so the new people can escape it. If you want the people to communicate, you should let new people go into the market to talk with them. But actually, now the arrangements of the table are so that the two group people separate. Okay. Any question?
Have you bought any antique in the antique market yourself?
Yeah, I bought silver jewelry, which is from the Victoria age.
Do you have a picture of it?
Actually, today put the picture of it. But the reason why I bought the silver because because they told me that there are some mark on the silver, and actually you can trade the mark. You can know where and when and who made it from the marks. So they told me that story about that. So I feel okay. I don't need to make. I don't want to. Sorry, I can buy something old, but I really like to buy something old because they with some story, and I can track from the mark. So I feel. Sometimes I told my friend that even I bought something old, but I can learn something new from it. So that's the reason why I like to and I like to do this project. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.